Welcome to Cinepro, where we bring your favorite movies back to life with quick recaps, hidden details, and everything you missed. At the beginning of our film, we see a group of lizards crawling on the floor of a medical laboratory. It's clear that the bacteria and blood on their bodies were due to experiments, and they're trying to escape. There are also many corpses scattered on the lab floor, and the place is in chaos. We turn to Dr. Young, who locks the door and doesn't want to open it for anyone. The corpse on the bed is his only daughter. Although she died because of his experiments, he believes he can save her. He starts preparing the drug he invented to revive her. But before he can administer the injection, the police come in and try to stop him because his experiment failed and caused the death of everyone present. He tries to write to them that this trick will bring his daughter back to life, but they don't believe him. As soon as he injects the needle into his daughter's hand, he is shot and falls to the ground. At that moment, there are many tremors, and we discover it's the biggest earthquake in history, causing the entire city to begin to collapse. Young rushes to his daughter to give her the injection, but the building collapses on them. 3 years later, we see the world as it is now. We learn that the earthquake wiped out human civilization, leveling it to the ground, and the few survivors live amidst the rubble. Life on Earth has changed 180 degrees. Meanwhile, Ji-won is moving with a bow and arrow, searching for anything to hunt. Suddenly, a massive crocodile appears, and he hides and shoots it with an arrow. His aim doesn't fail, and it hits a vital spot, so he moves towards it, thinking it's dead. But he doesn't know the crocodile is cunning and has set a trap. When he discovers this, he finds himself hiding in a car, but the crocodile sticks its head inside, about to devour him. At that moment, someone grabs the crocodile by the tail and pulls it back. We find out it's his strong friend, Nam-san, who, with the sword in his hand, manages to cut off the crocodile's neck. Nam-san and Ji-won work as professional hunters, risking their lives in isolated areas to hunt any creature they encounter and sell it. In the village where they live, we meet Suna, whose grandmother returns home looking exhausted, bringing their daily share of water, which is not clean but is all that's available. Suna is upset and asks her grandmother to let her go out and handle the exhausting tasks for her health. After the drought, it's become difficult to obtain food and water, and that's all that's available now. Her grandmother suggests they move to the car area because life there is busier and more active. But Suna explains that they are safer here because there are fewer people. She sees the world as a terrible place to live, and most people are evil. But the grandmother has a different opinion, believing the world is still full of good people. She advises her to keep doing good and treat people with love, and she'll find good people everywhere. Finally, they decide to go to the car area to trade, and we see Namsan and Ji-won cutting the crocodile meat and selling it, with the trade being a barter system for grains and other foods. Money and gold have no value at this time, and a woman with a lot of jewelry asks to exchange it for crocodile meat. But unfortunately, gold has no value, and out of sympathy, Namsan gives her some meat from his own share. She's impressed by the way Namsan looks at her. At that moment, Suna and her grandmother arrive and offer Namsan a wool blanket in exchange for meat. They thank Namsan for taking care of them for a while without any compensation. Suna had drawn a picture for him and gives it to him as a gift, making him very happy. He sees Suna as a compensation for the daughter he lost and gives them a decent amount of meat. Suddenly, we hear loud noises and see an armored car stop in the middle of the village. A group of criminals gets out, and their leader speaks through a loudspeaker, claiming they belong to a new police force under construction, searching for the person in this drawing. Strangely, they start picking people who don't look like the person in the drawing at all, even choosing women. And when one of the residents objects, they injure him severely in the arm. Ji-won wants to intervene, but Namsan advises him to control his nerves. But the group leader sees Suna and wants to take her with him. When she refuses, he attacks her, and Ji-won gets angry, and he intervenes, but they overpower him and hit him in the face. Namsan can't stand it and intervenes, taking down one after another. He's fierce and beats them all, almost killing their leader, but settles for warning them not to come near this village again. He learns that the person behind them is named Tiger, and sends him a message not to come near the village again, or he'll come for him personally. Strangely, he finds they have clean water and asks them about its source. They reveal they got it from a place called the residential building. He can't believe there's a place like that, but they assure him it's real, although it's a bit far away. The jewelry woman is impressed by his courage and looks at him like he's her dream knight. Surprisingly, he's shy and embarrassed in front of her. Meanwhile, they see a group around Suna and her grandmother, looking like strangers, clean and well-dressed. Unlike usual, they are led by Mimi, who reveals they are residents of the residential building, where food and clean water are available, and they try to protect children and teenagers because they are humanity's hope. They want to take Suna with them to the building, and her grandmother can go with her. When the grandmother hears they have food and clean water, she agrees and leaves, but she's not sure how to make the whole journey with them as she's sick. Mimi assures her there's a medical team waiting for them on the way to take care of her. Suna insists that Jiwon and Namsun go with them, but Mimi explains that only her family, which is her grandmother, can go with her. Namsun trusts the group and doesn't mind her going with them, especially since he wishes her well because she reminds him of his daughter. Suna says goodbye and gives Jiwon the drawing she made for him. He's very happy because he always wanted her to draw him, and he loves her and hopes she feels the same way. That night, Jiwon can't sleep after Suna's departure and pesters Namsun, asking him to go live in the residential building to be close to Suna and her grandmother. He suggests that since they only accept families, Namsun should marry the jewelry woman and adopt him so they can live as a happy family next to Suna. He notices that the jewelry woman seems to like him, but Namsun refuses, especially the idea of marrying her, and tells him no way, all but that. Didn't you see how she put the snake in her nose? But Ji-won doesn't eat and keeps nagging, which is annoying, so Namsun decides to leave him and go hunting, but Ji-won follows him and keeps nagging, thinking of Suna and her grandmother. On the other side, Suna and her grandmother keep moving until they meet another group that joins them. Among them is a girl named Kim, who is the same age as Suna. She approaches her and asks to be friends, especially since it's the first time she's seen someone her age. We see that Kim has been living underground in a basement full of snakes and cats since the earthquake, but now she will live in a beautiful place like the apartment building. Although they've been walking for a long time, they still haven't reached the medical team Mimi told them about. The grandmother and another old man with them couldn't walk any further, so Mimi decides to send the grandmother and the old man to a nearby medical center. Then they will send cars to bring them to the apartment building. She sends 2 soldiers with them to support and assist them. Suna is very worried about her grandmother, but Mimi reassures her, telling her she will receive medical care and be fine. They continue walking, and after a short distance, a group of cars waits for them to continue the journey and reach the destination. Suna is puzzled as to why they left her grandmother behind when the cars were so close. The sergeant reassures her that she will be with her grandmother soon. The way he says the sentence makes Suna even more anxious, but she has no choice and gets into the cars with them. Meanwhile, Namsun and Ji-won have been searching for a long time and haven't found anything to hunt. They delve deeper, and regarding the grandmother and the old man with her, they keep moving until they stop in an abandoned place. The grandmother still has trust in people and thanks them for their effort, asking if they are close to the medical center. She is shocked to find they have already arrived, and before they can comprehend, they throw the old man into a pit and slaughter the grandmother forcefully. During their hunt, Namsun and Ji-won were present at the location and saw what happened, but it was too late. They rushed towards the murderers, engaged with them, and killed them. The strange thing is that they don't die, and every time they are injured, they rise again as if they are zombies. Ji-won traps one of them to subdue him, but the shock is that the man cuts off his leg to escape. The strangest thing is that a new leg grows in its place. They realize they can't kill them in this way because they are not ordinary humans. A ninja girl appears and engages in combat, cutting off the neck of one of them. Namsun also understands that cutting the neck kills them and easily cuts the neck of the other. They learn that the girl, named Leono, was among the soldiers guarding the apartment building, and Suna is in great danger. They bury the grandmother first, then return to Leono, who asks Namsun for help in attacking the residential building and freeing her friends. She tells him her story that she was an officer in the Air Force, and after the earthquake, she and her team found a large residential building still standing. There was also a permanent water source, an underground well, so they decided to restore the place, and after much effort, they made it habitable. Life was beautiful, and everything was fine until Dr. Yang appeared. They were happy to have a doctor with them, but when Leono asked him about the children they brought for his research and who disappeared, she discovered the shocking truth. Her team was part of Dr. Yang's evil plan, using children for experiments that failed and resulted in their deaths. One of her team members shoots at their colleague, and the strange thing is that he starts to stand up again, and the injury heals quickly as if he wasn't injured. The doctor says the treatment he's working on helps people face diseases and survive without food and water for months. He tells her he tried the treatment on himself, which allowed him to survive for 3 months without water after the earthquake. Leono sees that what's happening is wrong and manages to escape. We return to Namsun, who tells her he will move with her not to help her, but to save Suna. At that time, Suna and the group arrive at the apartment building, where Dr. Yang welcomes them. He is very friendly and ensures that each of them receives food and water to compensate for the tiring journey. They give Suna a beautiful room equipped with electricity and water, along with new clothes and all sorts of comforts. Leono knows they need to move quickly because in a short time, they will start testing Suna. They are looking for teenagers of their age, and Ji-won is not comfortable with it, causing a confrontation, but Namsun resolves it, seeing Leono as kind-hearted. On the other hand, we go to the gang's den, where the Tigers gang challenges the gang Namsun told them about. The challenge turns into chaos, with everyone fighting each other, until Namsun arrives and orders them to stop. The Tiger rejoices when he sees him, saying he's been looking for him for a long time, and orders the gang to kill him. But Namsun, Ji-won, and Leono take them down within minutes, including the Tiger. We return to Suna, who is still asking about her grandmother, and Mimi continues to lie to her, assuring her that her grandmother will be fine and they will send a car to bring her to them. Dr. Young starts to announce the names of the top scorers, who are very happy because their families receive better housing and free food without work or effort. They receive a very valuable gift of canned goods and clothes. They realize they will be separated from their families and live on the 8th floor. They reassure the families that they can see their children anytime, and all they have to do is submit a request. Then they move the families to a basement under the building to hand them their new job in water purification and cleaning. The families endure for the future of their children. We return to Nam-san, who finds a large amount of weapons and clean water in the gang's den. He learns they got them from the apartment building in exchange for kidnapping humans for them, and that they need children between the ages of 10 and 20. In the residential building, Mimi informs Dr. Yang about the number of children they brought on the last trip. Dr. Yang is pleased with their effort. Shortly after, we see Suna attending her first class, and because she is smart, she is anxious and not optimistic. All the students look strange, with calm and eerie expressions, as if they are asleep and awake at the same time. Expressions on their faces, as if they were inanimate objects, not humans who feel and react. And when they calm down, it is noticed that they all have old scars in the same place behind the ear. When Dr. Young arrives, she asked him, since he is such a good person, why doesn't he help the poor who are dying from the weather and thirst, even though they have plenty of food and clean water? Mimi explains that Dr. Young is only looking for smart people because they are the hope to save humanity. Of course, this explanation doesn't convince Sona, and the situation remains suspicious. That's why she refuses to drink the water they give her in class, feeling that they are putting something in it. Ken, Sona's friend, was very kind and openly enthusiastic about Dr. Young, seeing him as a great person and wanting to do anything to help him. Dr. Young is pleased that she is cooperative, unlike others, and asks Mimi to prepare her and bring her to him to help in the lab after 3 hours. Before leaving, Sona asks him again about her grandmother. He tells her, we sent a car to bring her and she should be on her way. Don't worry, my dear. Meanwhile, it's noticed that the doctor gives a strange drug to the head of security, who has a strange things under his ear. On that day, Sona decides to escape and indeed sneaks out of her room in the middle of the night. In the building's basement, Kim's father and mother ask the guards to see their daughter, but the guard doesn't know how to calm them down and tells them no. At the same time, we see the group moving towards the building with a tiger helping them. Back in the basement, they have to call Dr. Young himself, who also doesn't know how to calm them down and tells them, come, I'll show you your daughter. Meanwhile, Sona, on her way to escape, finds herself in Dr. Young's office. When she searches through the papers, she finds documents related to inhumane experiments he conducts. Among them is a long list of children who died in his failed experiments. She hears the doctor entering, so she hides. Dr. Young brings Kim's family, who are shocked to see their daughter in such a state and don't understand why the doctor did this to her. He tells them that this is a small sacrifice they make for the sake of humanity. He also tells them that his daughter is also helping with these experiments and reveals his daughter's head, which he still keeps, hoping to bring her back to life one day. He appears to have gone mad and speaks incoherently. Naturally, they are terrified and worried about their daughter and want to take her out, which causes the machines to shake, and Ken begins to foam and die. Young is angry, seeing that they ruined his experiment. He grabs a knife and kills Kim's father, and when the mother tries to escape, the guard kills her. Sona witnesses all this in horror, and the cunning Young senses her presence, reaches her and tells her, you came just in time, placing her on the bed to start the experiment. He tells her not to worry. She won't die quickly because he needs her. Thanks to her sacrifice, humanity will withstand diseases, hunger, and thirst. He tells her that the water they were giving them in class contained a substance that interacts with the brain, helping him extract the drug from it. Then he grabs the scalpel and opens her old wound. Meanwhile, the tiger leads the group to the residential building. The guards recognize it as it has been dealing with them for a long time, but they insist on searching the car. Namsen senses they are in danger and suspects something. He then steps on the gas, knocking over anyone in his way, reaching the heart of the building in a dramatic scene that even frightens the tiger from what Namsen did. Mimi sees them, and the head of security realizes the attackers are from Sona's village. She moves to inform the doctor, but when she informs him, he's more focused on Sona and tells her to leave and not bother him, confident that the sergeant will handle it. The sergeant was sure that Yona would try to save her friends, not knowing they were subjected to experiments and turned into zombies. He sets a trap for them in a closed place and releases all the zombies they have, who start attacking them. Dr. Young addresses all the residents, informing them of an emergency and preventing them from leaving until the guards secure the place. He contacts the place where Nam-san is and tells him he can let them leave safely if they surrender. But Nam-san says, there is no surrender. I'm coming to free Sona and kill you. Shortly after, they succeed in defeating the zombie groups, and Nam-san asks Ji-won and Lee-yun to move to save Sona while he confronts the guards, taking them down one by one until he reaches the basement where the water is filtered. He understands these are the deceived parents, asking them to move quickly and save their children. On the other hand, Ji-won and Lee-yun, on their way to Sona, Sona are making an epic stand, killing guards one by one, but they find the head of security in their way, who is very strong. He doesn't want to harm her and loves her, asking her to join them. But Lee Yun says she will never join evil, attacks, and stabs him in the eye. However, this doesn't affect him, and he gets angrier, throwing her off the building. Meanwhile, Ji-won reaches the classroom where they teach, surprised by the strange calmness on their faces, not knowing that Dr. Young turned them into monsters due to his experiments. He finds Mimi and threatens her with a weapon, forcing her to lead him to Dr. Young's lab. On the way, he encounters Nam-san, who confronts the sergeant and asks him to move to save Sona. As for Dr. Young, he manages to extract a quantity of the drug from Sona's body. Immediately, he injects himself, thinking the experiment succeeded. He talks to his daughter's body, telling her the experiment succeeded and he will bring her back to life soon. But suddenly, he feels something is not right and starts expelling a strange substance from his mouth. Sona reveals to him that she wasn't drinking the water they were giving them in class, suspecting something was added to it. At that moment, Dr. Young begins to collapse, not believing a small child tricked him. At that time, Nam-san was in a fierce battle with the sergeant, who was strong and arrogant, but in the end, he overcomes him, cutting off his head. When the children leave the building, their parents are shocked, feeling that their children have something unnatural, making them lose the ability to feel. When Dr. Young finds a chance, he puts his daughter's body in a bag, and before escaping, he throws a bomb in the lab to get rid of everything inside. Indeed, it explodes, killing Mimi. When Nam-san enters, he finds that Ji-won managed to save Sona. As for the parents, when they see Dr. Young trying to escape, they capture him, drag him, and beat him. They want to know what happened to their children. At the same time, Nam-san asks Lee to take all the children out. The doctor gets angry at the parents, and he is dragged and beaten. They want to know what happened to their children. The doctor gets angry at the parents, grabs a weapon, and opens fire on everyone. In the end, he realizes that the bullets hit the bag, and he accidentally killed his daughter. He becomes very angry, raises the weapon again, and starts shooting randomly. Sona appears and advises him to surrender, telling him he failed even in saving his daughter. He points the weapon at her and is about to kill her, but Nam-san saves the situation and kills him. As he dies, he says he was going to help humanity and that his experiment was going to succeed, and it failed because of them. Nam-san hugs the rest of the group, and finally, the evil is extinguished, and at that moment, the rain falls after months of drought. Lee Yun decides to stay in the place and start anew. In the last scene, we see them returning to their barren village, and Nam-san, as usual, is cutting and selling meat. Ji-won and Sona help him. A lady with jewelry asks him out on a date, which makes him nervous and scared, not knowing how to act. Ji-won and Sona laugh at his predicament, and our movie ends. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give a like to encourage us to continue and provide you with the best always. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe and activate the bell to receive our videos first. Stay tuned for many upcoming movies, and see you soon. Goodbye.